Hey, and welcome back to Flipper Flicks, and we're going to find out if it's the end of the world because that's just what we do. And I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
Yeah.
I'm Tim.
War of the Worlds. End of the world. Disaster movie.
War
Wom, 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 wom,
of
wom,
the
wom. I don't have a
whole
didgeridoo. I don't
world.
have a didgeridoo or
Didgeridoo.
that's what they used to make the blom noise. Was the didgeridoo
That
with
makes
some like computer enhancements.
Sure, that's fair.
You've enhanced yourself.
With a didgeridoo.
Oh god.
Oh man.
My
Already
brain.
down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so this week we got a budget destroyer, which is more or less just, hey, this movie has to have made a shitload of money. And guess what? A Steven Spielberg movie made with Tom Cruise made a fuckload of money.
Who would have thought?
Wild times in the early 2000s, no less, like the prime Spielberg era.
Prime fucking Cruise era, too.
Yeah, that's true.
He hadn't gone nutty yet. Well,
The Scientologist
I'm sure
hadn't
he's
got to him
always
yet.
been
a little
nutty.
crazy. But budget for this film was $132 million. It made $603.9
Nice.
period.
Yep. That's kind of that's not surprising to be honest.
Yeah. More than $500,000 back in 2005 is quite a bit of money.
Yeah. And I mean, it was popular, like no doubt about it. A lot of people had seen it.
Yeah. But the synopsis for this one is an alien invasion threatens the future of humanity. The catastrophic nightmare is depicted through the eyes of one American family fighting for survival.
You guys, you said like,
I don't know why.
I
I
couldn't tell
did.
what you were going for with that. Like, was it a robot? Was it an alien robot? We were like, I
Well,
don't know what
yeah.
else was to be. Survival.
Survival. The movie
Shit.
starts off with a spoiler right off the bat. It tells you how the aliens are going to die.
Does it?
Yeah, bacteria. It's showing like a,
Oh yeah.
It does,
cell.
yeah.
It does show that, but I thought you meant like they actually talk about it. Like it just
I mean, they do with the whole
shows it.
splinter part about how the splinter will push itself out and heal itself.
Yeah.
true.
That being said, aliens just be all up in our ground, then getting zapped in by 26 strikes of lightning.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring up that whole fact now since you talked about it
Which part?
already.
Do it.
The bacteria part. I think that's probably my biggest gripe with this movie. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Like to end the film, yes, but as to what kills them,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Because if they have the technology to come to our world so much sooner, bury all this shit, they'd have a contingency for bacteria and stuff
Yeah.
like they're world conquering, species. They're not gonna just show up with their technology a million years later and be like, yeah, why not? And fucking die. So they'd have some kind of thing, I think, but
Sam's
That's
over
just me.
here shaking her head, yes, too.
yeah, as you agree. Yeah.
Preach it. That was like
Yeah.
one of my biggest gripes. Like I was like, this is bullshit. There was one other thing, and should we just rip the Band-Aid off now and talk about it, or should we wait?
Is it Robbie?
It's Robbie.
Yeah, we
What
don't know
about
what
him?
happened to Robbie.
Robbie doesn't fucking die like he should have.
So my whole theory
Yeah,
is,
he there's no way he survived that,
Yeah.
right?
you
Like,
remember when we watched
Like,
Requiem
what the
for a
fuck?
Dream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the director was like, I want to make it a happy ending.
Yeah.
And he said no. And we were like, good on you.
Yeah.
So I think it was just because they wanted a happy ending.
Well,
Mhm.
it was fucking annoying. So I'm already reeling from Robbie being alive because I'm like, this is bullshit. And then it's like, yay, humans and bacteria. Like, I hated it so much.
Fun
I was like, Jesus
fact.
Christ. Like, you ruined this whole 2 hours for me.
Mr. Spielberg hates the ending
Good. As he should.
because it's
As
the
he
original
should.
ending from the book from the 1800s.
Damn. I didn't know it was
That's
that
crazy.
old.
Yeah, it's originally set in Victorian England.
Holy shit.
So when Orson Welles did it back in the day over radio, he had to change it too. And fucking Spielberg has one of the last copies of Orson Welles' like actual like recording of War of the Worlds.
Dang.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bought it in an auction years before he made the movie.
Nice
Yeah.
grab.
Because he's like, I always wanted to make this movie. I just never knew if I could. Then he was like, dude, Tom Cruise, I've always wanted to make a movie with you. And like, let's do this movie. And he's like, yeah, let's do this movie. And afterwards, he's like, I'm never doing a movie with Tom Cruise again. Like, he's great on, you hear he's great on set, but apparently he was preaching some Scientology stuff to people.
I'm
and-
sure that's yeah.
And he
As
was
is
just
tradition.
not feeling it. He wasn't feeling that. Yeah. So the whole Oprah Winfrey when he's jumping on the couch,
Mhm.
it was because it's not because Spielberg wasn't there, but Spielberg had to cancel. He was supposed to be at Oprah with Cruise,
Whoa.
and then that didn't happen. And then we all saw him jump on that couch.
Yeah.
There's a multiverse thread where Spielberg's there and it's not wild for Tom Cruise. Nah, he probably just does it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does it later. Yeah.
He can't help himself.
Was he saying like I love Nicole Kidman or something?
I have no idea.
Whoever he was saying he loves whoever his person was at the time.
Okay. Whatever.
I can't hear whatever you're hearing. Tim.
Yeah. I froze for a second and then I heard some weird noises. Aliens!
They're joining
They're
you.
coming up.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, Sam, go.
I was just going to say that, like, Tom Cruise is very bad at handling disasters at the beginning.
He's never had his lights go out in his life. Like his power, he's like flipping the switches on and off. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is this not working? But yet he knows how to fix a car that's completely dead.
exactly.
also, all those people don't have fixed cameras.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But, like, in a hurricane or a disaster, I don't want this character near me. He's, like, standing outside
Oh, he's
forever.
super like giddy about it. Yeah.
He's like standing at the window. It takes him forever to climb under the table. He doesn't run away when the alien comes out of the ground. Like, I'm like, my dude, you should have died by now.
Right,
Okay,
however you
okay.
want.
So I said Sam and I were like, yeah, we'd be running. That's just who we are. I was saying I bet Tim would have stayed and like looked at the hole.
Yeah. Probably for a second, but I would have been like, yeah, this ain't good.
Not as long as he did, right? Like, it was
No,
entirely
fuck off.
too
I mean, like,
long.
I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
I would
brings
have
me-
just gone to see what happened, and then as soon as I saw the hole, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
because you've seen movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this comes to my next question. If an end of the world scenario happens in our real world, do you think people will react like they do in this movie? Or do you think we'll all just be skittish as fuck and get out of there because we're like, I've seen these movies so many times. No, zombies, aliens, I'm out. Going to the
No.
countryside.
Curiosity killed the cat. So
But that's not the whole
I think a lot of
phrase.
people, well, yeah. But
Something
I
brought
think
it
a lot
back.
of people,
But yeah, a
Um,
lot of people would still look.
I think they would still look, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's the whole subset of people when, like, again, back to a hurricane or a tsunami, will, like, go to the beach to check it out and get a pic of it. Sick pic, man.
Right.
So there's going to be a whole solid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially now, people with their phones are filming
Yeah.
it and shit. You know, like
Yeah.
everybody wants that. So
It was, but satisfaction brought
the
it
game
back.
over.
Oh, gotcha.
But people don't like to.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, no, see, but I'm not that person. I'm like, nah, I'm out of here.
I think there's a solid chunk of runners. And there's a solid chunk of people that want to get famous and just, like, take the vid and be like, sweet. I mean,
But
it
all their
comes,
phones would be dead in this
Yeah.
scenario.
but it also, I mean,
Mhm.
it's kind of down to fight or flight too. Like, what if the new version of fight is just like, I got to go see what's going on over there?
Your dad
Right.
would 100% go look, Sam. 100% your dad would look. He's the only parent, like, of our four parents that I can say for certain would look.
Gotta go see what's going on down there, man.
Like, 100%.
Well, hey, I guess I'm just a runner. What can I say?
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
I'd be like, what's going on down there? Okay, I gotta go.
Dude, also,
I
like,
have a bug out truck for what reason?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was expecting, so, like, I know that all the cars, like, died, but, like, they don't immediately stop when they're driving on a highway. They're going to roll to a stop, and
Yeah.
most intelligent people roll to the side.
Right.
That being said, I would have assumed that all those hundreds of people walking on the highway would have stopped that one car really early. Like, we
like-
saw it at the ferry.
You think that would have happened earlier
Yes.
than the ferry?
Mhm.
Yes. Also, a gun would have
Yeah.
been pulled out way sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Most likely.
yeah, I get, I don't know if it's a faith in humanity thing that
Mhm.
or lack thereof. Yeah, no, I totally believe most people would, if an end of the world scenario is happening, they would all grab their guns if they have a gun.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, I wasn't expecting him to get mobbed on the highway, but I was expecting him to be like yelling at his kid and run into something. Like run into one of those cars.
Oh, like slam into something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so people hate Dakota Fanning in this film.
she
'cause
just
she's-
screams.
She just screams.
Yeah, she just fucking screams constantly.
People say that they depicted a family almost too well, like a child reacting too well. Because if a 7-year-old kid was there, she'd be
Yeah.
screaming. That being
Right.
said, we're watching a movie. I don't want to hear a fucker scream.
Yeah.
Not the entire 2 hours, please.
Yeah.
Well, that and like the teenage angst of Robbie, like it was hard to watch at
Dude,
points.
Tim, did you recognize Robbie?
No, I don't have any clue who that kid is. I feel like he should be in other stuff, but I have no idea
Oh,
who he is.
yeah. He's running around in a movie from 2009 saying, Kame.
Oh, yes.
Kameha. Yeah, he's Goku.
Is that why he doesn't have anything else?
Maybe he got shipped for this movie because he survived. Like, he didn't write that he survived, but he
Right,
still
yeah,
probably
he
got shipped
survived,
for it.
so. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then he was Goku in Dragon Ball Evolution.
Wow.
Yep. Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah, his angst was too much for me. Like, I get that that's how he was written. Again, like, not his fault, but I was just like,
Right,
make
not
it
his,
stop,
yeah.
please.
Apparently, people talk about how Spielberg has a tendency of writing a divorced parent that's just being in with the dad being shitty at being a father because
Mm-hmm.
that's how he sees himself. Like, that he wasn't a great dad. So he makes dads in movies bad. And I'm like, that's
weird.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very strange, like, almost insecurity or something.
Oh, yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah.
Well, Ray is like remarkably horrible.
Oh,
Like,
he is an awful father.
there's like
Yeah.
a deadbeat dad character, and then there's almost like a cartoonish character with how bad he
Yeah.
is. Like it's so all of that with the screaming and the angst, and then him just being like, I don't even know, completely oblivious to the most basic things is just like it's
Yeah,
a little
and-
rough at the beginning.
And something that always gets me with this, and because I've never seen it in person. When he eats that hummus, he is like, oh, like it's so disgusting. I'm like, I've never once seen a person react like that to hummus.
Yeah.
the hummus is always like, either like okay or it's fucking delicious. And I love hummus, and now I want some. I'm really hungry. That sounds good.
I was gonna say I know people that dislike hummus, but I don't think it's to that
That
degree.
reaction,
Yeah.
that was a very extreme. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This put hummus back like 5 years. We
Yeah.
might have had everybody eating hummus
Hummus is
since
so good.
2005, but no, we had to wait till like the 2010s.
Sabra's like, you motherfuckers. You ruined my
Sam's
profits.
like, give me that red bell pepper Sabra hummus.
Oh, yeah, that's good shit.
Grind me up some chickpeas and let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking delicious.
Oh, man.
What do you guys think of Tim Robbins' character, the guy in the basement?
Oh, he was good.
Yeah. I was like, I 100% thought he was going to kill them very early
Oh,
on.
yes.
Yeah.
He
Don't
gives off
trust
that
anybody.
vibe.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you going in his cellar? Like, don't do it.
Also,
Yeah.
why
Bad
didn't
idea.
a single other person go down there?
I know. That was so bizarre. I think they were kind of towards the end of the crowd, weren't they? Because basically, like, before that, people had run away. And then the only reason it took him so long was because he had to, like, go get what's-her-face away from the strangers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think they were
Yeah.
towards the back of the crowd, maybe? I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah.
It does seem odd that they'd just, like, peel off by themselves and nobody else is going down there.
Yeah, not a single other person was like, oh, that looks safe.
Right.
Creepy 6'5" man waving a shotgun. Come down to my cellar.
Yeah, come into my cellar. I don't even think it was his though, because he said he like found a whole thing of peach
Yeah.
schnapps.
Oh,
It's like
yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
not even his house.
Dude, the height difference between Tim Robbins and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like,
And the mass difference.
Yeah.
He was so beefy compared
He's-
to Tom Cruise.
they're
Yeah.
like, he's not a small man.
No.
No, if that fight happened in real life and neither one of them know how to fight, just based on size, he would probably
Yeah.
come out on top. Like
Oh,
in the
yeah.
movie, you don't see anything, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently, they were in Top Gun together. I forgot that he was in that movie. I always just know him as Shawshank.
I forgot he was in that movie too.
He is Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, in Shawshank. I
Yeah.
don't know who
Yeah.
is in Top Gun.
He's probably a tech guy. I don't know. Like a navigator.
I'm picturing Top Gun, but I don't.
Tim's playing
Right.
through the whole Top Gun movie.
It's going through my head. I'm
Loading.
like, yeah. Where? When?
Who is he?
I've still got IMDb up. So,
He plays Merlin.
oh, Merlin. Yeah, literally, there's a picture of him as Merlin. I don't
He looks
remember.
like a kid, man.
Huh.
Oh my gosh. So young.
Yeah, so they
Alright.
played together in that.
There you go.
Interesting. So he didn't have a lot of screen time on that, I guess.
Nah,
then,
yeah.
but-
Dude, so when they're underwater, apparently Spielberg played a prank on them.
Yeah.
He put a shitload of money in. I think he just owns like somebody on the production company had very, very strong underwater speaker system. So while Dakota Fanning and Tom Cruise were in the underwater scenes,
Yeah.
he started blasting Jaws.
That's amazing. I love it.
What a dick move, but so great.
Yeah. Oh man.
God, that would be like frightening. Like, I guess, especially as a child, like if you think like, is it like or hate Dakota Fanning? Poor child, scared
That's
of
what-
water for the rest of her life.
That's what I was gonna say. Like Tom Cruise was probably like, "This is funny," but like,
Yeah.
the poor child is probably like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
If she knows the theme, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
she'd been in quite a few movies by that time, so I would hope so.
You never.
Is
know,
she still
man.
around? What's she doing? I haven't
She
seen her in
kind
a
of
long
like,
time.
I don't know if she fell off, but her little sister started acting.
Mhm.
I think her name is Elle Fanning.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
She was in the last thing I remember seeing her in was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Dakota?
Yep.
Or
Mhm.
Elle?
Dakota. She's part of the
Elle?
Manson bunch,
She's the one that's like, yeah.
Red or whatever.
Yeah, she's like in the room with the dude.
And it's funny because she's a fucking adult, which is like obviously duh, because like she was so little in this. But like,
Yeah.
I feel like when we grew up seeing her, like she was always little, but then like she goes to Twilight and she's like kind of a teenager, and then now she's an adult. It's weird.
Yeah, she
It's
doesn't really
child
do
stars,
nearly as
man.
much. Yeah, what the
Yeah.
fuck? They're aging.
I know. Oh man.
She also had a scene where she had to see a bunch of bodies just float down a river.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty brutal one.
There are a lot of scenes in this movie that are like haunting. Just
Yeah,
in the way
exactly.
that they're like shot and like with the music and everything. That's one. They pull out when they get mobbed in the van, and it's like a very good like aerial shot, which is
Mhm. Yeah.
wild. Like that I
What
will
about when
never
they're
forget.
they're hiding in the basement?
I mean, I was very startled the first time we see the alien's face. So
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I audibly I was like, ah! But I guess it took so long to see them, so I guess that's what it was. But also I was shocked that it still looked as good as it did. Like that was partially it. Like I don't think that this movie is dated in terms of its effects. Like
No.
it still looks pretty good.
So Tim, during the basement scene early on, not the cellar creepy Tim Robbins basement, his ex-wife's basement, where the airplane falls down
Oh yeah.
onto the house and it destroys the house, and they
Yeah.
just happen to be in the basement. Sam literally, this is her quote: "Jesus Christ, so stressful."
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, and like the train that comes barreling past and it's on fire.
Dude,
like I don't
right,
know.
this-
I was on the edge of my seat for the whole 2 hours of this film. I'll give them that. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm gonna have a heart attack after this.
Yeah.
But the basement scene when they're hiding from the aliens made me think of a video game, and I fucking hate sneaking levels.
Yeah.
Who enjoys
Depends on the
those?
game. If the whole game's about that, like, sure. But when
That's
I'm on
fine.
like playing a game and that's just like thrown in there, like, oh, this mission you have to sneak through. I'm like, this doesn't do it for me. It's like this is not.
There's an
I
early
agree.
Fable level that you're supposed to sneak
Mhm.
through, and I'm like, I'm not a fan of this level.
No, it's irritating.
I think
Yeah, no, it's actually very difficult. I played it recently. It's actually fucking hard.
Yeah. I knew that's why I brought that one up because I knew you
Yeah.
played it. There's a game called
Yeah.
Dishonored where like half the time you're supposed to be sneaking,
That's supposed to be. Yeah, that's supposed to be a good game.
and then it'll tell you if stealth is needed for this mission or stealth is not. And there's like a running joke online like when stealth is not needed, they show like all the dead corpses that they killed. When stealth is not needed because they're like, fuck it,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wreck everybody.
Yeah, it's
And yeah, that's always fun to do in games. What did you think of Boston not blowing up? Make sense or no?
I was like, this is weird. Like, and I think it might just be because in all of the disaster movies since this, like every major city is hit, right? So
Yeah.
it felt odd to me that like somewhere that's not that far away because they were able to drive and
Go down
get
the river.
there. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like they traversed the country.
Right.
Was fine. But I don't know. Tim, what did you think?
I didn't really think anything of it, to be honest.
He's like, whatever.
Just thinking back on it now, I'm like, well, I mean, they didn't know where we would settle and build, right? So they just kind of
Exactly.
set things down in an area to cover certain, radius or
So
whatever diameter. And
Boston
Yeah.
is built on on a lot of artificial land. So there's not much land. Like it's not
Oh.
the land that is in existence in the city of Boston isn't 100% what was there whenever they put the fucking things in the ground. So
There's reason for it. I like that.
yeah,
Makes more
Science.
sense.
yeah, science
Yeah.
bitches.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, it was
What's
like
that tell you? Go to Boston, because aliens won't come from underneath you.
Yeah.
and you can get a lot of Dunkin' Donuts.
There you go.
True.
They have them on all four corners.
And there's whales.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Or
want to see a
something.
whale.
There you go.
Yeah. So I found out that IMDb has like an FAQ section, and that was like one of the questions. And someone was like, "Why are all the birds on top of it?" The response was, "Birds just like to be on a high perch."
Yeah.
Seriously though.
And
Have
Yeah.
you ever bird watched?
100%. Yeah. It's just,
and then people were asking about why did I might be going to this FAQ section more because it brought some funny questions and answers here. When the first human was like pulled up the sphincter,
Oh yes.
yeah.
nobody grabbed onto him.
Yeah. It was
When
weird.
Tom Cruise is about to go into it, they all grabbed him.
Yeah.
The answer was, well, it's possible that dude was just the first guy to be pulled up there. We don't actually know why.
Yeah, they don't know. Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, the guy from the military, the National Guard, Army, I don't know what he was, noticed that he had grenade pins, but we don't know if he saw him pull the grenades in first. But
Right.
that's hilarious.
I like all these people that go to IMDb just to answer the FAQs.
I
and they just want to
know.
like is it just a bunch of lawyers flexing their logic muscles, mathematicians, like
Scientists and shit.
yeah.
Mm,
Oh man.
But may we also add that you're not pulling a grenade pin out with your mouth. I mean, it's supposedly
never
very-
tried it.
From what I've
I'm
heard,
sure it would hurt your teeth.
yeah.
I heard it's like not like
I
you can
bet
just
that would.
easily just pull out. Like you gotta like,
Right. No, there's some force behind it. So,
Yeah.
like, you probably damage your teeth doing that.
oh yeah, it would just be funny. He like comes out with all these bloody
He
teeth.
rips his fucking
Yeah.
teeth out. Like, oh, the pin didn't come out.
Oh no. Gross.
I mean, I want to see that in the movie.
I know.
Like, somebody's like, I see this in movies, and he goes to do it. Like, oh, it's like,
Fuck, that hurt.
Yeah.
Now,
Why does it work in the movies?
now this is gonna be something I don't know why I think you're gonna like this, Tim, but I just think you will.
Yeah.
All of the guns in the movie were real guns. They just removed the firing mechanism so you couldn't shoot them.
Sure.
Why don't we just remove the firing mechanism from guns in movies? Like,
Instead of doing like the little fake squirt gun looking ones.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know enough about
Well,
guns.
I think there's just
I don't know
that's
if
what
it's
it
still
comes down
safety.
to is yeah, it's a real gun is just intimidating, right? To have
Yeah.
pointed at you. B, like if you're unfamiliar with the gun, if somebody says it can't go off, you know, I
If
think
it
somebody would
does.
still be freaked out that they're, you know what I mean? So I think it's just it has a lot to do with just not knowing about firearms and then having somebody there that's a good enough armorer to watch over every piece of equipment and make sure it's, you know,
Yeah.
willing to do all the due diligence on it.
Yeah.
Um,
But if you have
no.
like a real gun on, I feel like firing mechanism should always be pulled out. If you're gonna bring a real gun
I would
on.
argue if you're gonna bring a real gun, there's zero reason that there should be ammo or that it be functioning.
Yeah.
Aside from being able to hear it, you know, racket or whatever, but to charge it, you know, but because you can easily take out the firing pin.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was saying. Like, and it just feels safer.
it'll
Just do it in
still
post.
function. Everything will still function. It just doesn't have a firing pin. So even if there was something in there, it wouldn't.
It couldn't ignite the gunpowder to launch the bullet.
Yeah, it couldn't hit the primer.
There we go. Tim Solve. I like it. Put Tim on movies.
Ugh.
Tim's like, I don't want to be in movies.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll pass.
let me make a dark scene real quick. So when Ray's covered in ash,
Mhm.
that was what they did was they actually watched videos from 9/11 when people saw the ash on them, and that's why he studied that and acted that way because, yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
It's rough.
that was rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did anybody in the FAQ section ask why there's a basementception scene? They're in the basement, and then they pull open the door, and like, I'll buy that there's another room. My mom's basement is like that, but there's not a step down. Like you're in the
That was
Yeah,
weird.
basement.
That was weird.
Or like another subfloor.
Yeah.
But what's hilarious is they probably used a real house.
Somebody
Yeah, probably.
has a
Yeah.
basementception.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
basementception out there in the real world,
Like why though?
but why?
Yeah. Why would it? Yeah, go down a level
Specifically
like that.
for this, somebody's
Yeah.
like, aliens are coming, and I need a basementception.
Right. How do you like their fertilizer move? The red mist stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that was pulled straight from the original book.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they really.
I just
wanted
imagine
to
they
add
like
it.
just. I just imagine they just throw people into a grinder and then like turn it on. You know,
Well,
turn on the
you-
sprayer.
We've
It's like,
all played
oh,
Pokemon
God.
Go, right?
Sure.
You know when you transfer your Pokemon,
Yeah. Yeah.
same story.
They're just
Yeah.
transferring.
We just throw them in the shredder. You literally get candy back. Candy.
They just opted for mist instead of candy.
Professor
Yeah.
Oak has candy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. There was that near that scene when all the blood and like he keeps breaking off like the tendrils. It very much reminded me of Stranger Things. I was like, ooh, I
Yeah.
wonder if Stranger Things was like, this is cool. We want to use
Yeah.
this. Because, like, I don't know. There are just parts of it that I was like, oh, that looks like pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, with how old this book is, a lot of Stranger Things I know is D&D related, but it seems Cthulhu related almost, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, in a way.
And I'm like, I mean, everybody starts from somewhere.
Yeah.
That's why the cavemen are the best artists because they're the first.
Yeah.
Well,
I think there's like a
They're the
commercial.
original.
I'll never be as good as the originals. Oh, so I forgot that I was trying to get back. I wanted to get back to this. The mannequins falling down the river. Okay, so it gets really funny, like the actual practicality of this.
Yeah.
They called the sheriff's department and was like, "Hey, we're floating a bunch of mannequins down the river.
Smart.
So if you get
Yeah.
calls about this,
FYI.
that's what's happening." Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, Mr. Sheriff. Yeah, we're missing 2 mannequins. They lost 2 of the mannequins down the river.
Wow.
So either they sank or 2 people went
Somebody
home with
was
a
like-
gift.
I'm gonna take this mannequin.
Oh, that got some nice clothing here.
I wonder if word kind of got out that was happening when they, called and told him about it, and then people are like, I'm gonna snag me one because it's from the set of,
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Spielberg cruise
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Could be.
Snagging.
Yeah.
I just thought it's like
Although,
just imagining
they?
like that phone call.
is this a prank? No.
Do you want it to be?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so the critics gave this a 75%.
Wow.
Audience gave it a 42%.
Wow.
90% of these people that gave it a low score are pissed at the ending. Just want you to know that.
Yeah.
IMDb with a 6.5 out of 10 and Google with a 79%. As the budget destroyer picker, I will say I rated this one very well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I think I only had like lowest is like a 3, and that was from the acting because the screaming was killing me.
That's fair.
And half the dialogue was the word Robbie or Rachel.
Yeah.
So that was kind of just how I felt. But I really liked it. Like I went back when I saw it, I was like, damn, that's pretty good. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I'm like comparing it to Disaster Movie, and it may be the best movie I've ever seen after seeing that one.
That's true.
Yeah. Comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you've never seen a good movie before after Disaster Movie. Now I've seen a good disaster movie.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah. So I was kind of pissed it took me so long to watch this because there were parts of it that were really good.
Mhm.
There were parts of it that were fucking horrible. But like I said, I was on the couch the whole time. Like I was stressed out. It had me locked in. So I rated it pretty high. I think I gave it 5s for everything except for plot, acting, and dialogue. Kind of the same thing as Adam. Like
Mhm.
the plot annoyed me because of the ending, right? So I gave it a 2. The acting annoyed me because they were screaming 24/7 or angsty, so I gave it a 3, which I think it's all right. And then the dialogue, I gave it a 3 as well. So I would say, and I did say that I would flip it on at a hotel, but like I would only stop if I'm at certain parts of it. Like I think as we approach the end, I'm gonna get pissed off that Robbie is still alive.
Yeah.
So like I gotta stay in the front half.
Honestly, like
Yeah.
they did a good job at like they had a very emotional scene of Robbie going over the hill.
Yeah.
Of the movie. Yeah, should have left it that way.
I know. All right,
Tim?
sorry, Tim. Go.
I mean, I liked it back then. I liked it a year ago. I liked it now.
I hate it now.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, I mean, I gave the dialogue, plot, and vibe a 3.
Okay, yeah.
Acting and pacing, I gave a 4. Because while it's a 2-hour movie, it doesn't feel like a 2-hour movie.
No.
And maybe that's just because I'm used to 3-hour movies, but
Exactly.
I don't know. I enjoyed the music, and the cinematography does hold up okay, like pretty good now.
Mhm.
Give it another 5 years, and I bet it'll start look aged. But like it'll just feel aged, I
Like
guess.
the
But
CGI and the practical effects.
yeah. I think
Okay.
like it was good, but it's on the cusp of being like,
Not
you know,
caring.
you can see what era it's from essentially. But and then staying at a hotel, yeah, I'd stop. So it says flip on, and it's a flip on for me, that's for sure.
Nice.
Didn't have a change of heart.
I forgot
No.
forgot to mention that it was nominated for 3 Oscars.
Okay,
Sound
Hmm.
mixing, sound editing, and visual effects.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Checks out,
Oh,
man.
and
Yeah.
Dakota Fanning won an award for she was from MTV.
Loudest screamer.
Yeah.
Most useless thing to have in an apocalypse.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
what?
true.
Child, a
A
7-year-old
child, yeah.
child, of course.
Like,
They don't
I-
know anything.
MTV, I know you're being edgy and trying to be funny, but like, come on,
Yeah.
she was a kid. Like,
Right.
I mean,
it was funny.
I feel like I would cherish it as an adult. I was probably
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
in your teenage
just a role,
years.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on to next week. It's our last week,
Dun, dun, dun.
so I wonder where we're gonna get. It's definitely maybe Split the Pod.
Definitely maybe split the pot.
Hey, guess what?
Is it Split the Pod?
No.
What?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, I thought that was the only category left. You had me fooled.
Boom, roasted.
Because I could see you doing that, being like, it's
Yeah,
definitely maybe this. And then we don't know any better because me and Tim don't keep track of it.
Right, we will. Adam could be making this up as he goes.
Exactly.
We wouldn't know.
Yeah, so next week we're gonna have that. Then the following week we're gonna do our season wrap,
Yep.
and then the Dog Days of Cage are coming.
Yeah, get psyched.
Nicolas Cage all summer long on Flipper
So,
Flicks.
if you're looking for something to do this summer,
And you really want
hang
to
out
watch
with
Nicolas
us and
Cage
Nick
films.
Cage.
Yeah.
I heard he might be guest starring in a couple episodes.
Oh, shit. Do we have the budget
Whoa.
for that?
No, but we have the buttons for that.
We shall see.
If you like this episode, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FlipperFlix. I guess we don't have to say it anymore, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm old. Follow along, see what we're doing. Interact if you'd like to.
Yeah, hit us up there. I don't know. You can also give us recommendations on other of those sites, or you can go to our website at www.flipperflix.com. Yeah, we do a couple recommendations each season, so we just love we're trying to pander right now. We're trying to get you to come to our website, give us some clicks, and recommend us a movie because, we're going to have to pick those eventually, and more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
You can also, speaking of pandering, you can also rate and review us on Apple, Spotify now. Oh, we also do polls there occasionally. So that's always fun.
Answer Adam's questions.
Answer all of my questions, God damn it.
And if you're wondering, when can I catch these fools? You can catch us at 1 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. We're on Spotify, as Adam mentions, where he does his polls. We're on Apple, Google, Amazon. I believe you can subscribe on the various platforms, and that way you'll get like a push notification or it'll come right into your queue. So that way you don't ever have to look at the clock on Thursday. It'll just be there for you.
Give me a Vader. Give me a Vader. Bye, Vader.